Welcome to the Academic Success Crash Course series presented by the Office of Academic Skills at Washington College. Today's video is group projects, and we will go into detail about the dynamics of group projects and how to make them super productive. Understanding why your professor has assigned a group project can help you do a better job, contribute more, and motivate your group members. When professors ask students to work in small group, it allows students to learn interactively, and small groups are really good for things like generating a lot of different alternative points of view or solutions to a problem, helps distribute work in a more intensive or complex assignment. It allows students with different backgrounds to bring their special knowledge, experience, or skills to a project and explain that to others, gives students a chance to teach each other, and it gives students a structured experience so they can practice skills that are going to be helpful to them in professional situations. Some of the benefits of working in groups, even for shortened periods of time like in class, are that students who have difficulty talking in class might be more willing to speak in small groups, and more students overall will have the chance to participate in class. Talking in groups can help overcome the anonymity and passivity of a large class or class meeting in a poorly designed room or in the online environment. Students who expect to participate actively also prepare better for class. Thinking about the types of work groups you've had before, you might have seen any of these three options. Dependent level work groups work a lot like a traditional work unit with a supervisor. Everyone has their own job with the supervision of their boss, the person in charge. It's not necessarily cooperative based. Most problem solving and work assignments and other decisions come from the supervisor. This works well in the short term, but it's not great in the long run because everybody is operating separately. In independent level work groups, these tend to be the most common form of work groups in businesses. Everyone has their own responsibilities, but with minimal supervision, and members receive manager guidance or support. In interdependent level work groups, members rely on each other to get the work done. Sometimes members have their own roles, and at other times they share responsibilities. Members coordinate with each other to create the product. Think about when you've had a successful or even maybe an enjoyable group project. What type of group were you functioning as? What about the group projects that have gone wrong? Understanding this and even loosely discussing it with your group or listening for keywords from your faculty that might suggest how they envision these groups working can really transform the group project experience. Paying attention to the group dynamic and trying to make it good for everyone and productive should be done from the start. Make sure you set expectations and understand each other, and use these tips on how to create a fun, effective, and efficient group. Be inclusive. Make sure to involve everyone in discussions and decision making. Sometimes someone is a little more shy or seems less confident in the material. Don't let someone more outgoing talk over them, or don't be the person talking over others. Take turns, being the leader, talking on everything. Be kind and considerate. This includes, again, not interrupting and giving everyone a chance to talk. It also means showing up on time and completing things well and by the agreed upon deadline. It also includes communicating any issues or delays you're having. Also, being kind when others communicate with issues they're having. Be positive, improve the mood of the group, show appreciation, and note when someone has good ideas, does good work, and everyone's meeting deadlines. Do your part to make it a good environment. Don't cast blame unfairly. If there's a problem in the group, begin by asking what you have done or not done to contribute to that problem, and what you might be able to do to fix it. If there is a conflict, try to work it out through respectful talk with each other. Not email. That can be a horrible conflict medium. Try and actually speak with each other. Try to understand the other person's point of view as you discuss the issue. Group work is best if people know each other's names and a bit of their background and experience, especially those parts that are related to the task at hand. Take time to introduce yourself. Be sure to include everyone when considering the ideas about how to proceed as a group. Some may never have participated in a small group in an academic setting. Others may have ideas about what works well. Allow time for people to express their inexperience and hesitations as well as their experience with group projects. Discuss and clarify goals. Make sure each person feels that they've had time to voice their ideas, their concerns, and questions. Make sure everyone agrees upon them. Goals might include deadlines, direction for the project, meeting dates, and frequencies, responsibilities of each member, the role of each member, or anything else your group may want or need to set goals on. Within a group, the leader is responsible for seeing that the work is organized so that it will get done. The leader is also responsible for understanding and managing group interactions so that the atmosphere is positive. A leader needs to encourage everyone to contribute to the final product, observe how the group is working, and adjust as necessary. They may also play a major role in setting the tone of a positive atmosphere. The leader is leading, but they're not the only ones responsible for the process or the end product. They should take the lead on anticipating expectations, suggesting deadlines, beginning and ending meetings on time, and other things like that. But they're not the only ones responsible for that. Every group member is. Everyone in the group needs to support their coworkers. Make eye contact when you're talking to each other, nod along with someone when they're talking to offer encouragement. Observe the group dynamic and help correct or adjust the course if needed. Contribute to mediation if necessary, whether it's a disagreement about the direction of the project or an issue with making deadlines or something along those lines. Again, these are things that the leader may take the lead on, but everyone has a role in it. And reconciling any differences or compromising on meeting times, who's going to be in charge of what, these are all things that the whole group needs to play a role in. And everyone can use humor, as appropriate, to create a positive and collegial working environment. Okay, so how do you do the project? Well, you need a plan. Break up big jobs into smaller pieces and allocate responsibility for different parts of the group project to different individuals or teams within the group. Don't forget to account for assembling pieces into the final form at the end. Develop a timeline, including who's going to do what, in what format, and by when, including time at the end to assemble all the pieces into the final form. Remember that this might take longer than you anticipate. At the end of each meeting, everyone should review what work they expect to complete by the following session. I always recommend building in wiggle room at the end of the project so that if someone or everyone hits an issue, nobody has to rush or pick up more than their fair share. Developing this plan and timeline also means you can make sure that everyone is contributing fairly, but to do that, you need to make sure everyone contributes to the plan. I know that with schedules and everything, it can be tough to schedule, but that should be a main priority of the group, to find a time that everyone can meet, and then that needs to be a priority to every individual in the group to attend each of those meetings. Each meeting should have goals, including what deadlines should be met and what you'll spend your time on. It's easy to do the bulk of this planning at the beginning of the project. That way, if someone makes a mistake or something happens, it's a lot easier to keep meetings on track and positive and really productive. It also saves time later if you're planning when you're looking at the big picture. Throughout the planning process, someone should be taking notes on decisions and deadlines. Assign someone else to take notes just on all of the ideas that get thrown around, so you have a record of all of them that you can go back to. Meeting on Zoom actually offers an advantage in this situation because you can record your meetings and then go back and reference it if you can't quite remember what you talked about during that second meeting. But someone made a great suggestion. It wasn't quite what you were thinking about then, but now, maybe a couple weeks later, because of timing or something else that happened, it's the perfect thing, but you can't quite remember it. You can go back to that Zoom meeting that you recorded, or if you had someone jotting down the ideas, you'll have a record of it that way too. Make sure to schedule check-ins. Even if it's not meetings, schedule times that everyone is going to give an update to the group via group text or via email. Make sure that the mode of communication is part of the plan. Keep it consistent so that all communication is in one place, easy for everyone to find, easy for everyone to remember, and it minimizes the excuses that group mates can give you. Group projects can be challenging, but they have a purpose. Sometimes it's so that you can dig deep into a topic and create a really in-depth project with the support of others and not all on your own. You also learn valuable skills that you'll need after college about working with others, leading, overcoming challenges, and working with people with lots of different ideas and experiences. Group dynamics can be really challenging and really impact how the project goes. Make sure that everyone knows their role and that everyone's role is to contribute to a positive and productive group dynamic. The leader should take the lead in these things and in planning, but they're not the only ones responsible. A leader is not a dictator. Everyone needs to get a chance to contribute and weigh in on ideas. Make a plan and make sure how and when you're going to communicate is an expectation that is set at the very beginning. Then take the assignment and break it down into pieces, assigning each part to a member of the group and setting deadlines. Leave time at the end of the project to put everything together and look it over, and make sure to plan time to buffer in case something goes wrong. If you would like to go into more detail, please visit the Office of Academic Skills webpage and make an appointment with an academic skills tutor. You can even meet with your group with an academic skills tutor to dive deep into the planning process and any group dynamic issues you might be having.